So what's on my mind? So this morning, after today we're gonna actually this morning today I'm gonna talk about the power of right association. So this morning after I finished my boot camp, I was coming out and then I ran into my coach or trainer slash friend Paul, as well as my coach and trainer slash friend Kathy, and we started talking and she mentioned to me, hey, are you gonna sign up for the 5K that's gonna be in middle of November. Middle of November over here, it's going to be cold, right? I've done one 5K race a couple of years ago, and I think she started talking to me because I was wearing a t-shirt from that 5K that I did 2 years ago, about it was a Thanksgiving 5K run, and she was telling me how that's not going to happen this year. And then she kept on asking me, hey Paul, she kept on asking me, are you going to do this 5K this year? There's a 5K coming up in middle of November. Do you want to sign up? Things like that. So fast forward that to what Paul was sharing about, was he was talking about Spartan Race next year, and if I want to do this and join them on things like that. So where does the power of association comes? The power of association comes is while I've done 5K, if I wasn't surrounded by people like Paul or Kathy and Colton and Ed and John and all those things and all the other 100+ people that come to the boot camp, I would not have ever imagined or thought that I would bring myself up to a point where I am today. Like in my last video, I talked about how my fear kept me away from the gym, kept me away from whatever my fears were. I can go over my fears, but it just didn't work for me in the past, and I was getting out of shape. Working out at home wasn't working out, happening. It was either getting pushed back and things like that. So coming to a facility such as Endzone / the Adrenaline Bootcamp, and actually being surrounded by a lot of other people of various skill levels, various athletic level, from various different walks of life. It's good, because on one end, which is the highly competitive, super fast people, which I'm trying to be one of them now. But early days, I was I would be on the tail end, right? I would be on the tail end of, slow, can barely, keep up, out of breath, overweight and things like that. So this is where the power of association comes in, right? Where I have surrounded myself with people who are better than me, as well as people who were like me, and with their prodding and with their thank you, Amina. So with their prodding and with their encouragement and courage, I've gotten better and better, right? So for example, I said yes to running 5K race in middle of November, which is going to be cold. Trust me, it's North America, East Coast, it's going to be cold. Unless we get super lucky and it's a super warm day. You never know what global warming may do. Now, the next point is, and also I know Spartan Race, it's a pretty intense race. I haven't done that Spartan Race before. I've done Savage Race. These are obstacle course races. They're usually anywhere between 8 to 18 miles long, not kilometers, and with a lot of different obstacles along the way, right? I have always wanted to do Spartan Race. It's been a thought in my head. However, I could never get the courage to go and sign up by myself. But when Paul asked me and said he's going, I was like, you know what? In my mind, I'm going as well. So that's where the power of association comes in. It's like, I remember the time, how I used to smoke. I'm not sure a lot of you people know that or not. And actually a lot of my Adrenaline family members don't even know that I used to smoke, and I smoked for a long, long time. And if I think about it long back, how did I start smoking was and I started pretty late. It's because my friends, we used to hang out and they used to smoke, and just to fit in and just things like that, I would take a drag here and a drag there. And next thing I know, I was basically a smoker. And I used to keep telling myself, oh yeah, once I go to America, I will stop smoking. But, and then I would say 1 week, oh, next week I'll stop, next week I'll stop. It never happened. I smoked for a long, long time. I think it's about 17 or 18 years before I stopped it. And then basically that was also a very life-changing moment as well for me, because nicotine is an addiction, and it took me a long time to get over it, right? It took me a super long time. However, I'm happy it was better late than never. Yes, Paul is saying there's gonna be a Spartan race team. Yeah, you know what? Thank you. Actually, that's what's the best thing, because I would have never thought I would go to a race like this. And the hats off to John, who put together a team 2 or 3 years ago. And because of him, I got into this thing where he made it super easy, from arranging the bus, the team, all those things, the swags, and just made it so fun and amazing that the memories live on. And it's something I'm going to talk about this the other day, the regret minimization framework. It's something I learned from Jeff Bezos, that he talked about, and how he makes his decision. And I'm started to use that, apply that to my life as well, the regret minimization framework, which is going to be another day. But for now, I just want to talk about how I started smoking, and that kind of because of association, and think about it, and how I changed my life 180 degree by having the right people in my life, right? I'm super intentional of who I talk to and who I hang around with. And it's only because it's like I realized even a negative thought can actually mess things up. You would say it's unbelievable, but it is true. And what I really like about my bootcamp, and I love going at 5:30 in the mornings on weekdays, is because despite being it cold, and it's going to get very, very cold, it's that, Michael French, Mike, oh my God, that guy is like, what will I say? He's like, one day I asked him that, hey, how old are you? And he's like, I'm old enough to be a father's age. And I didn't believe him. I laughed at him. And then I found out, I think we did burpees on his birthday, and it was like 60 plus burpees. I would have never believed that, a 60 plus year old guy, I hope, Michael, I'm not messing up your age, but he's super fit, and he probably can run faster than me, longer than me, and can beat me in any of these races. Totally he can do it. So coming back, that's why I love going to a workout 5:30 in the morning, despite coldness. Actually, the cold doesn't bother me. It actually encourages me, just because I know these are instructors who volunteers. They don't do this for a living, right? And they push me and push everyone in the class, and they correct us, and they're helping us get better, right? And they're really doing an amazing job. So with that, before I end, I just want to tell you guys is that hang around with people who are better and who will make better. Yes, Michael French is amazing. So hang around with people who are really, really good, who are amazing, who are givers, not takers, and who are here to make the world a better place. Because trust me, the world, once you surround yourself with people like that, oh, hi David. So once and David is actually an amazing person as well. He runs TEDx Mid-Atlantic as on the side, along with what he does, and that's that was actually also a challenging, life-changing event for me. I watched TEDx. First time I went to TEDx Mid-Atlantic was 2012, and that one event totally changed the trajectory of my life, and that took me to a different path. So it's just like, small bumps or people come into your life a little bit at a time, and the small handshake or the small hello changes your life so much that once you look at it and you feel like grateful. And I just like to talk about the positive stuff rather than talking about the people who wronged me or who basically messed things around, because talking about it is not going to really do any good. So before I end, thank you everyone. Please make sure that you surround yourself with the good, right people. Trust me, sometimes we have family members who are toxic and they will probably pull you down, and I have family members like that. However, it's difficult. It's not impossible. It's just you have to find the balance, and you have to figure out what's more important to you and in your life. With that, taking off, and just surround yourself with the right people. I mean, we talk about it all the time. I mean, we read about it, but no one really, if you think about it, I think about it, how my life could have been and where it is now, just because of the association I have had in the last, whatever number of years. Take care. Bye-bye.